Today's video is going to be coins that I picked up from Bob. He's a dealer that I see fairly often at different shows that I go to in the Tennessee area, and he specializes in foreign coins. And I think what sets him different from a lot of dealers is he has different bins of coins at different prices. He has a $2 bin, he's got a $1 bin, he's got a 25-cent bin, but he's also got a 5-cent bin where I got all these. And then on this particular visit, I got a couple of banknotes that we're going to save at the very end. But I think for 5 cents each, I pick up a lot of coins that I think would go well in my trade pile. And so there's nothing going to be in here that has a high book value. Most of these have a book value at 10 cents or something pretty close to that. So there's nothing crazy, but sometimes you get coins that you just don't see that often, and to me that's worth 5 cents. And so let's take a look. There are 20 coins in this pile right here, which means I paid $1 for everything that's right there. We're going to start with some coins from Thailand, and a lot of these Thailand coins are fairly easy to find, or they're certainly not rare because they were made for quite a while, but for whatever reason I just don't find them as often as I find the coins from the 1 baht and up, even though there are millions upon millions of these made. This one's going to be the 50 satang, or half of a baht. And in the catalog it specifically says this is the 3 metal version of King Bhumibol, otherwise known as Rama IX. I always have trouble reading their numbers, but that's a 50 for 50 satang on the left, and it's going to have a date on here of 1957, but they're one of those countries that where they kept the date for all the years they made this. So it was minted from 1957 to 1976, and they ended up making 439 million of these, so it's certainly not going to have a good price to it. But you know, as far as my trade pile is concerned, you just don't see a lot of those, and that one's in pretty good shape. This one's almost identical, just smaller. It's going to be the 25 satang. This one actually, I believe, is going to be an upgrade in my collection. And here it has the number 25. This is actually more common. They made 620 million of these since it was made for 20 years. Then we're going to move on to some coins from Greece. We're going to start with the 20 drachma from 1980. This coin features Pericles. One thing I'll point out about this coin is they changed the way they made their currency. It was originally drachma, and then they changed it to drachmas. The next one's going to be the same way. This one's the 5 drachma from 1976. And this one features Aristotle on the 5 drachma. So this one's KM 118 and the 20 was KM 120. I got 3 of these coins from Taiwan, but one of them is certainly better. Still has some pretty good luster to it. This one is a 50 cents coin. And specifically, it's year 59. So as we read 5 plus for 50 and then 9, so that's year 59. That translates to 1970, and a catalog number of KM 546. Here's another coin from Taiwan made the same year. This one's a small coin from aluminum. It's going to be a 10 cents. Has a little flower on it. Has the same Let's see, last one was year 59. This one appears to be year... I think that the 9 is well worn right there, but it's also year 59. This one's catalog 545. And it was made from 1967 to 1974. Then we're going to move to another coin from Taiwan. This one's older. I had it upside down. So this one features a map of the island of Taiwan. It's also a 10 cents, and so it has the symbols for 10 cents on this side. But during this era, the coins feature Sun Yat-sen. This is a 1-year aluminum coin, and that 1 year is 1955. On their counter, it's year 44, so we've got a 4 and a plus for 40, and so that's another 4, so it's 44. And they made a similar coin made out of bronze in 1949, but this year was aluminum. This one's catalog CAM 533. Now we're going to look at some tiny coins from Costa Rica. This one's a 5 centimos coin from 1972. Catalog CAM 184.4. This was made from 1972 to 1976. There's a lot of variations with these coins. A lot of their coins look very similar to each other, but as we look at some of the varieties, the metal here is copper nickel. This is the large ship variety. When you look at the size of the ship there in the crest, there's also 7 stars above the mountains there in the middle of the crest. So that represents the 7 states or whatever their geographic political divisions are in their country at the time. So that's the 7-star version. Let's look at an older version of the coin. This one is the 5 centimos. Let me go back to that other one for a moment. At the very bottom here it says BCCR for the Central Bank of Costa Rica, but there are some even older versions that have different initials. May have been the National Bank earlier. Or actually the variation here is this one is the undivided BCCR. There's other versions where it has the BC over here and the CR more on the right. But as we flip this one over, as you can see, it's older. It has a date of 1953. The ship on here is smaller than the last one. We've got 5 stars instead of 7 on top of the mountains. And the metal of this one is stainless steel. So this one's catalog 184.2A, which was made from 1953 to 1967. We're going to move on to a coin made out of iron. This is from Germany. It's going to be a 5-pfennig coin. The date on here is pretty much scratched off. Although most iron coins that I find have rust somewhere, this one at least isn't very rusty, but this coin was made from 1915 to 1922. And it's catalog number CAM 19. Next we're going to move to El Salvador. I got 2 of these. It's a 1 centavo featuring Fray Bartolomé de las Casas. Dated 1964. The other one's older, 1954, but same coin. See the details on this one pretty good, especially with the bird that is on top of the scroll with the date on here. So, like a lot of the Guatemalan coins, made out of brass from 1958 to 64. Although they did make 9 different versions of this coin ever since 1949. We've got the Quetzal bird, I think that's the name of that bird, the scroll with the date of liberty, September the 15th of 1821, I think. We've got a couple of muskets and a couple of swords underneath that, with a wreath. So those Guatemalan coins are KM 260. And if I said El Salvador earlier, I was getting a couple of coins confused. There are some differences between these two. So the one on the left is 1964, the one on the right is 1958. And if you look at the size here, the size of the heads almost touches the letters. So the one on the left is KM 260, the one on the right is KM 259. The one on the right was made from 54 to 58, so it's called the larger bust or the smaller legend. The one on the left is brass, but the one on the right is nickel brass. So there are a couple of variances there. Now let's move to the El Salvador coin. So again, I've got 2 of these. (1956) catalog is KM 135. These were made out of bronze from 1942 to 1972. Before that, it was copper nickel, but only in 1940. And then after this, it was made out of brass from 1976 to 1977, but it's changed even to copper zinc, and then copper, and then brass-plated steel. So there have been a lot of metals used for the 1 centavo coin. So this next one is a very low value coin. These, again, identical. It's they're both from 1964. It's a 1 centime from France. And so these are essentially near worthless, which is probably why we don't find them anymore. Or really don't find these. I mean, I found a couple of them here, but just in foreign exchange value, before they were off the euro, this was worth about 1/5 of United States cents. So I wonder if these are the metal in here was worth more. But it's catalog KM 928. These were made from 1962 to 1979. They still made them after 1980, but in very small quantities. The metal here is chrome steel, and there is a 5 centime that is very similar to it. We've got one more double up here. Again, identical coins. This one is from the Philippines, featuring Melchora Aquino, 5 centimos. This one's going to be catalog KM 197. These were made from 1967 to 1974, and then they changed the design to give it a scalloped edge from 1975 to 1982. Now let's move to the coins that I paid a quarter for. This one's going to be from El Salvador, and of course it's very well worn. Depending on how you hold it, you can't even read it. But this is going to be a 5 centavos coin. Has that inside of a wreath. Dated 1920. Very well worn on here, but based on the age, I decided to go ahead and pick this one up. Catalog KM 129. But a coin that they made at about the same time. A little bit larger coin, still just as well worn. We've got a 10 centavos. Still in a wreath. This is a larger coin than the last one. And this one's dated 1925. A little bit nicked here. It probably has been damaged since it was produced, although someone might call that a clipped planchet or something, but I'm just going to say it was damaged. KM 130. These were made out of copper nickel from 1921 to 1972, and of course the condition on this is very necessary for the price. If you found this one in uncirculated condition, it would have a book value of $35. We're going to move over to a coin from Kenya. This one is a 5 shillings coin from 1985. Catalog number on this one is KM 23. Features President Daniel Toroich. I'm sure I butchered that, but this is a one-year coin that was made out of copper nickel, and then in 1994 they made it again out of nickel-plated steel. So this one I'm holding is KM23, but the newer one is 23A. So the next coin here is going to be from Spain. It's actually from the 1800s coin Spain's one of the most common ones that I find. It is a 5 centimos. We'll come back to that side, but let's flip it over first. Has a date of 1870. And this side, it's well worn, but it has Cinco on this side as well across the top. It's going to give us the weight. So it's essentially going to say 5 grams on this side. The catalog number is KM662. This was made during the provisional government after Isabella II was overthrown. And this is certainly not rare. There are 287 million of these made, but at the same time it is 150 years old, so I have a bunch of them in well-worn condition. It's got an OM mint mark there at the bottom. And at the top here where it says 200 kilos, essentially what this is saying is you need 200 pieces of these to make a kilogram. So since this is 5 grams, you would need 200 of them to get 1,000 grams. I thought that was kind of an interesting how they're talking about the weight of the metal content on here. Now let's go to the coin I paid $1 for. We've got Queen Elizabeth here on this Australian $1 coin, as a silver dollar just fell off my shelf above me. So this is a one-year circulating commemorative coin of the centennial of the Federation of Australia. So we've got kind of a star flying through the air that just drew a swoosh of the shape of, vaguely the shape of Australia on here. So the coin was made in 2001. Australia became a federation in 1901, so that's the dates on here. There is a colorized version of this where the star is red and the swoosh making the map of Australia is blue behind it. There's also some mint sets that are out there where I think they made a total of 20 different coins that were part of the centennial, and they put them all together in a set, so you can find some 20 coin sets. This is the only dollar in the set, but I think they had a lot of 50 cent, 20 cent coins out of that particular collection. So, but this was a circulating commemorative coin and certainly worth $1 to me. The catalog number is KM534. We're going to move to a couple of banknotes that I picked up. I probably overpaid for both of these because I paid $1 for each one of them, and each of them has a book price of less than $1. But this one is a country that is hard to find coins from, although I don't think the banknotes are all that rare. It's Bosnia and Herzegovina. The note is dated 1992. This is a 10 dinars banknote. And then the design on here features a bridge called the Mostar Stone Arch Bridge. And when you hold it up to the light, it's got kind of a repeating diamond pattern that goes through it that kind of acts as a watermark. I don't know how well that shows up, but so it does have that watermark on it. It also has some threads on it that glow under a backlight. The catalog number of this one is P10. We're going to move to a note from the Philippines. This is a 10 peso note. And this one doesn't have a date on it, but it was produced from 1986 to 1990. Based on the signatures, which appear right here. Catalog number of this one is P169B. And so this one features, the gentleman here is Apollinario Mabini. He is the author of this document, which is called the True Decalogue. He wrote this in 1898, and it features a lot of the values that he believed that the society and the country should have, and it features a lot of religious values. So I found that to be very interesting. On the back here, we've got a cathedral called the, I believe it's the Barasoain Church. And it features a watermark of the same man from the other side on here. And then this one also featured, under a black light, there are some threads that are woven into the fabric here that glow only under a black light. Alright, that's all I've got for you in this video. I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.